Kamen Rider Build.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with my review of Kamen Rider Build episode 40. So, this was a pretty solid episode. I wouldn't say it was anything spectacular. We did get a little bit stuff moving. It was an entertaining episode, I thought. You know, Sento's back. We kicked off the episode with the debut of Genius Form, getting to show it off a little bit, stuff like that. And then we get into this scene where they're sort of going over / explaining what's going on, where now Sento has basically his childhood memories through like high school of being Kasaragi, but he does not have the memories of being the devil scientist. So it's like, oh, high school, blank, and then Sento. And he can't figure out why. And then later in the episode, we see him actually talking to a version of himself. Allow myself to introduce myself. But so that's how that works. I think that's kind of interesting. Psychologically, I'm sure someone that's like a psych major would be maybe potentially fascinated by it. I mean, I'm sure a lot of it's nonsense for like real psychology. I only took regular psych class. But just, it is kind of fascinating how Sento is essentially a person born out of a person's blank memory. I'll be interested to see if they ever fully merge, or if he's gonna just remain like an AI in his head, almost like a second voice. Because it kind of is still him. It's just like when you're talking to yourself in your head, but it's a different person, kind of. I don't know, it's weird. It's one of those things where I kind of feel like it's a cop-out, but I kind of like it. And the way Build goes is usually it has some sort of payoff or resolution later, so I'm willing to wait. But it wound up being kind of neat, because like he went to go visit his mom, and she wasn't there. And they discovered that like his dad knew that lady from way back in the early episodes that like helped smuggle them into one of the other countries or states or whatever, which was really neat, super far callback. And also neat because multiple people in the comments in the last 4 episodes have been mentioning like, why didn't he go see his mom now that he knows, or why hasn't he gone seen his mom since he found out he was Kasaragi? But now it makes more sense since he has actual tangible memories, because before it was just a fact and it would be like, hey, I'm your son, but I don't remember you, so I don't want to talk to you, lose my number. That's not what he would say. But yeah, so that was kind of nice. I'm sure we'll get a scene with the actual actress coming back a little bit later on, maybe even next week, who knows. There was some stuff with Evolt and his plan to create Lost Smash, like the most berserk manufactured ones, because they go more berserk when you manufacture the Smash. And they used the Prime Minister lady from Hokuto. And Grease wanted to get the bottles back that he got stolen because of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trio. I am sick of hearing about the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trio. It's funny, when it comes to Grease, I really enjoy his more light bits, his more comedic bits interacting with the group, or his friendship with them, or his kind of obsession with Misora, but I do not care about those Yu-Gi-Oh! Trio at all. I'm tired of hearing about them. Like, oh my god, we get it. I'm just glad I don't have to look at their hair and ears anymore. But yeah, so he was kind of charged in to get the bottles, and he wound up getting experimented on, and Mad Rogue was like, Utsumi was like, oh, you have to win all the battles or you're gonna explode. And at the moment that seems to still be pending. It seemed like it was a resolution where like the same thing happened to the Prime Minister lady, and Build cured it with the genius powers because plot. And he's like, oh, Grease, you want me to take care of that? He's like, nah, man, I got this. So I think he's going to use it to get more powerful because it's raising his hazard level higher and then fix it. I don't know. It was kind of confusing just because it seemed all serious, like, oh my god, I'm going to explode. And then he's like, nah, it's fine, it's cool. I got so raged up, I got 2 twin breakers. He used the Dragon Jelly gel bottle to get it. And I kind of wish that instead of just having 2 twin breakers, it was some sort of hybrid form between the Grease and Claw's charge forms. I thought that would have been cool, kind of reminiscent of the the Drive, the Chase Mach hybrids. I thought kind of could have been cool, since we're probably not going to see the Claw's charge suit again. But it's whatever. But it was kind of a little moment for him. The highlight of the episode was easily Gentoku, who came in with his new civilian clothes in a fashion show at the beginning, and no one approved of it. And so like later in the episode, he's giving a fashion show to Misora, and it was really funny. Like, it was one of those things where it's like, I can't even believe his character's doing this, because he was kind of always just the generic badass villain, and now he's like, it kind of reminds me of Dan in a way. To be fair, Dan got crazy before, but it's like you have this sort of main villain that's been there more or less throughout the whole series, and now all of a sudden he's at the base being like, what's up with these antics? But it kind of undercut his badassery a little bit, but I did find it very amusing, especially since it kind of defines Build's tone shifts, where like, the beginning of the episode, they're kind of talking about everything that just went down. They're like, oh, I don't have the other memories. And then all of a sudden, Gentoku walks in with his, like, cowboy hat outfit. And I love, like, he opens his shirt and it says, like, bold. And it has, like, the rogue screaming noise. I love when they use the little transformation belt noises for comedic bits. So it was a little bit over the top, but it worked for me. I found it amusing. And it's kind of funny because for Sento and Ryuga, I both am invested in their stories as characters, but also enjoy their comedic banter. But when it comes to Grease and Rogue, even though I understand their character arcs, I'm not really hugely invested in them, but I have been enjoying their more light bits. Like I just mentioned with Grease, I enjoy his more comedic storylines, and like with, I think this was Rogue's first comedic beat, like real comedic beat. There might have been a couple small moments before that I'm forgetting, but this was the most notable one. But yeah, overall, it was a solid episode. It was more of a kind of, like, I guess you could say matter-of-fact episode in a lot of ways. We did find out a twist at the end that was kind of expected twist. Like, it's kind of something I assumed might happen in some form, but Sento's dad's alive, so that was like the cliffhanger, which was a nice way to end the episode. But yeah, it wasn't a, oh my god, mazeballs plot episode. It wasn't a boring episode. It was just a solid, entertaining episode to segue us into the next little mini arc, so I'd probably give it, probably an 8. I was going to give it lower, but then the Gentoku stuff I just really enjoyed. But anyway, that's about it for this one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to get more of my reviews and more of these episode reviews where I just talk nonsense. Dawson Rider, signing out.